Alright, hello everybody, my name is Peter, and today, as always, since this is primarily a review channel, we are going to review this pair of gloves. They are, as you see, fashion gloves, primarily made for skiing, made in China, and made out of some cushy, beautiful material, soft to the hands, soft to the face. Okay, try to get them apart without damaging them too much. Okay. Let's go. Slip them on the old paws, and they slide right on. They feel good. See, this material here is really well designed to, if you have any of those little hangnails on your side of your nails, on your, what do you guys call those? Those little skin tags that peel up right there? I don't even know I call them hangnails, but they're not really. This material is expertly designed to catch all of those and painfully pull them back as you pull your gloves onto your hand. But once you're on there, you're good to go. Right, let's put the other glove on. Weirdly enough, these fit like a glove. Fit all right over any large jewelry you might have. Really just good to go. And these are lefty, righty, righty, lefty gloves, which means I could have put this glove on this hand and I could have put this glove on this hand and it would have looked exactly the same. Like this could be the inside of my palm or this could be the back of my hand, right? It could go either way. It cannot be so flexible as this could be my pinky. This always has to be your thumb. This always has to be your pinky. This always has to be your ring finger, right? So there's some amount of flexibility, but not unlimited flexibility. But I like it. Feels good. My hands are warm. I feel like maybe I could go. If you look closely, you can see my skin a little bit through it as it stretches, which is interesting. It's not a huge deal. It's just how it works. They're still warm. They still really make a huge difference if your hands are cold in the coldness. Right? And you might see a little bit of shininess sometimes if the light hits it just right, which is the elastic that's woven into all of it. All right? We have to see, of course, if the glove works well for doing things with, right? Because you don't want to put on a pair of gloves and then your hands are rendered totally useless. So let's see if we can butter a piece of bread. Seems to be going okay. Of course, at this point I had already gotten the piece of bread out, already sliced off a little piece of room temperature butter, which is really nice and really good for my belly in the morning, in the afternoon, in the late midnight. Oh, great for a midnight snack. Yeah. As you can see, these gloves are great for hanging onto crumbs so that they don't fall anywhere else. I'll finish that later in my own time, in private. Oh. For now, let's move on and let's do some drawing in the sketchbook like I like to do. You pull off the gloves like this. I usually do it like this. Otherwise, if you're not careful, the gloves turn inside out, which makes it a little bit annoying for the next time. Push on the crotch of the fingers. You're good to go. Another way is to pull on the tips before you start, like so. Then you can start drawing. Now, gloves have a long and sordid history, is what I've found. They've been around forever, even in old ancient Greek and Roman texts. People like Plato and Herodotus or whatever, they talk about people wearing gloves, which surprised me because if I'm going to sew something, if I'm going to make something, like a garment, I feel like gloves aren't the first thing I'm going to make. They're pretty advanced, right? Like little sleeves for each finger. Even a shirt with long sleeves probably isn't going to be the first thing I sew. But people have been around for a long time, and they probably had people sitting around making things for people to wear for a long time. You're going to make gloves eventually. Also, it turned out if you look on Wikipedia for the gloves, first of all, it's a heavily commercialized thing. If you type in gloves on Google, you have to scroll down a long ways before you get to the Wikipedia article. If you want to research and learn about gloves, you have to scroll by a lot of people trying to sell you gloves. It's ridiculous. But I also learned that mittens are a type of glove. I always was, I guess erroneously, of the opinion that mittens were they were two separate things, like salt and pepper, mittens and gloves. But no, apparently mittens are just gloves where all four of, a bunch of the finger shafts are just connected. And apparently there are mittens where all five of the fingers are connected, and it's considered much warmer because the fingers can huddle up together, keep each other warm with body heat. And there's even the pinnacle of glove mitten design, the part where it has like little gloves or maybe a little fingerlet glovelets down there, and then a little mitten part that you can fold over or fold back, and it gets held back with Velcro or maybe a button, right? And they're either called convertible gloves, convertible mittens, or a really cool word, glittens. Can we all say that together? Glittens. 1, 2, 3, glittens. All right, good job, everybody. Looking a little bit more closely at this drawing I'm doing, I did this in a moleskin sketchbook with a rotring isograph pen. I don't actually know which. I'm recording this commentary. I don't actually. Let me find the drawing I'm doing. Which drawing was it? Oh yeah, this one. It spans 2 pages, right? It's a little difficult drawing in the margin of the page, the crack in the middle where the 2 pages separate, like the Red Sea. They split apart, and it's difficult drawing there for 2 reasons. 1, because there's a split in the page, and 2, because sometimes when I try to scan it in, that's the difficult part of the page to scan in. So I sometimes don't want to put too much detail there, because sometimes I lose a little bit stuff there if I ever try to scan it in. This sketchbook is better than a lot of other sketchbooks I've had for lying flat. This moleskin sketchbook. I don't, when people ever ask me what's the best sketchbook, I never have a real answer because there's so many different variables. But I think someone gave me this moleskin sketchbook at some point. I didn't go out and buy it myself, but it has treated me pretty well. The pages are moderately thick, moderately bleed proof. If you draw with one side with a Sharpie, it bleeds through a little bit, some better than some, worse than some, but you can press it down. The pages lie pretty thin. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but yeah, I like it. It's getting pretty. I have like 8 pages left to fill it up. It has a lot of experimental scribbly stuff, which I enjoy. Low pressure to make really important, perfect stuff in it, which I feel like is a good way to have in a sketchbook. Sometimes if you do too many good drawings in a sketchbook, the pressure's too high. You set yourself up with too many successes in a row, and you think, I can only do successful stuff I have to. And then the next thing you do, if you keep doing successful things, eventually you're like, I just have to fail now. I just have to fail now, because if I don't fail now, then the pressure keeps building up too high. And if I don't fail now, then I'll just explode from all the pressure to succeed, right? You've got to knock yourself down a few rungs. So I keep myself knocked down. Not that it's not like that, but it is a little bit. Anyways. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I'll see you later, okay? All right. Love y'all. Bye.